Hey again, woodworkers. Okay, so where I left you was I had cut the tenon and made that fit into the mortise, and I did it right off of the saw. Few of us will be lucky enough to do that right away. It's going to take practice to do that, like everything. But I wanted to show you what I'm going to be looking for with the fit of the tenon, and then how to cut them or get them to fit not right off of the saw, because that's going to be a bit more practical. Alright, so when thinking about fitting joinery, we want to think about something called a piston fit. Piston fit means there's going to be some resistance to driving your joinery home, but not enough that you're going to have to break out a mallet or a hammer or something to really start forcing this into place. If I can do this and fit these things in with a little resistance, that's exactly where I want to be. The reason that's important is because that gives enough pressure on both the negative and positive side of whatever joint you're using to do some self-clamping. So when the glue goes in, it'll hold, it'll press against the other side until that glue sets. If it's really loose, no amount of glue is going to do you any good. It's not going to hold, it's not going to work. So a piston fit, something that will hold on its own, that's what we're looking for. And if you've done that, you're going to have a successful joint. Okay, so what I have done on both of these is I have cut with the saw to get roughly to where I want them to be. I have not yet cut these shoulders. So these, you'll see the line, I need to come back in and chop those out with a chisel. And I've done that on this one here. This is my new joint today. This is the one from right off of the saw. So doing that, I want to talk to you about a couple things about what I've done here in anticipation of needing to fit this. So I have left my layout lines on the ends here. Usually if it's too large, those layout lines will be in place. I've also transferred them down to the faces and edges all the way across, and those are going to be helpful for reference. So once I've done that, I can use all of these as guides as far as where to take off material. Setting up into the bench, set it this way. Setting up in the bench, you'll start to see that there are some options with what it is we're going to start looking for when we cut. And I've got a couple of different tools that I want to show you I can come in with my chisel and I can start to feel where that layout line has been left. I can engage right there. And because it's a tiny amount of material, I can start to bring this in just a little bit. I'm putting hardly any pressure on this, not damaging my carpal tunnel or anything like that, but just gentle pressure in. And that allows me to see exactly where that layout line is. If I've already removed it, then I won't feel it with the chisel here. So that's an easy way to get started. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to start scraping or paring across the grain of the wood. If I were to continue with that first cut straight down, the grain of the board is going to have some opinion about where this chisel cuts. And that's why this tool is good but not great for cleaning out your extra material. What I started with was paring towards the camera and then away. Now, because I don't want to come off of the edge of this tool, or this tenon with the tool, I'm going to bring it back in here and start to get a better reference. I can always come back in and kind of reassemble or establish material that I need to remove, and going from there, then I'm in good shape. Okay, so chisel. Careful of using this. If I start taking large chunks, and again I'm looking at the layout lines that I have in front of me, it could start to really give me some trouble. Alright, and that's a good example. So when using the chisel here, bear with me for a second, please.